What's up, YouTube? Dan the Ninja Man here with a modern arcade classic, TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Man, this takes me back. I still remember being a kid loving playing the 4-player TMNT arcade cabinet at Chuck E. Cheese, and playing one of the GBA games a ton. So, I have some high hopes and loving nostalgia for these turtles. Let's see how this game holds up. So, this game is done like an expanded arcade beat-em-up, with 7 playable characters, having added even more via DLC, which I honestly don't know if they're worth it. The 7th character is also a secret one, who must be unlocked by beating story mode once. PSN Profiles says the game is also like a 7 out of 10 to Platinum, so this should be pretty difficult. So let's take a look. The game is broken up into 16 levels. Every level ends in a boss fight, and for some reason, the bosses get significantly easier as the game progresses. The game can be played with 6 players simultaneously, and the more you have, the more enemies show up. But the level length stays the same. The difficulty options of chill, okay, and gnarly only change 3 things in story mode: damage received, the difficulty of completing side objectives in missions, and the size of the boss's health. In arcade mode, this also changes the amount of lives you start with, and the points threshold for receiving extra lives. Yeah, the strange amount of damage is crazy insane, where on Gnarly, some attacks will take off a third to half of your health bar. You have to play much more aggressively and patiently on Gnarly. But on Chill, it's so easy, the whole game might only take away 2 of your lives, even if you're playing really sloppily. The balance is just bad across the levels, especially with the bosses going from easy-ish to really hard, then falling back down to absolute pushovers. But the basic mobs get tougher and harder as you progress. There's also some funny things with the enemies, like the dinos only showing up in 2 levels, but the maul-wielding enemies only show up in the mall level, probably because of the pun. There are also multiplayer-specific trophies, so you will need a buddy at some point. I first went through story mode on hard. Some trophies are easy, like throwing 16 enemies at the screen, beating a boss with a super attack, and clearing the first level. Then, starting in level 2, enemies with projectiles show up, so we can deflect 10 projectiles. I also got hit during a taunt, and ate 20 pizzas. As I progressed, I broke 200 objects, and took out the Rat King. The Rat King's level also has a great spot to cheese out the trophy for getting a 250 hit combo. Finally, on level 7, when the last hard boss fight is, we take out Bebop and Rocksteady for another story trophy. Then, in level 9, I got the free trophy for the balloon minigame. And then, in level 11, I found the last type of collectible for another. Then, took out the Triceraton leader for another trophy. Level 13 is probably the hardest level in the game, with a boss fight halfway through the level and another boss at the end. Though neither of these bosses are that hard once you learn their tricks, and upon clearing this level you'll get another trophy. Then, in level 14, we find the last cameo and get a trophy, and then can clear all the requests after clearing level 15. Then it's time for the final level, level 16, which is only a duo boss fight. And I swear the developers didn't test this, as the first boss is incredibly easy, while the Super Shredder fight apparently got a new attack added via an update to make him harder. Clearing this nets us one ending, as I was maining Leonardo, and this nets us the ability to play as Casey Jones, who, stat-wise, is the best character in the game. Simply playing as Casey nets us a trophy. Then I beat the final boss with all 7 characters to see all the alternative endings. Now onto the grind of getting all characters to level 10. If you redo story mode, you gain extra points by finding collectibles again, doing the mission side quests, and getting extra points for getting all of a collectible type. This took me a while, but it also taught me which characters were good. See, TMNT games are weird, because the games always favor either speed or range for their gameplay. Usually, this means that Donatello is either the best character for having the longest range, or is the worst because he's too slow. In this game, Casey is the best character, Splinter is second, and Leo is third best. Raphael is fourth, dead middle, because he at least has his high damage offset some of his issues. But his main combo sucks due to an added delay / flourish. Mikey, April, and Donatello are all bottom of the barrel. Mikey may be fast, but his low range and damage suck. April is pitiful due to low range and damage, only excelling in her rising attack, hitting 3 times. And Donatello is just the worst, as most enemies have a greater range, so Donatello gets shafted instead of him shafting enemies. Oh, and during this long grind, I got a miscellaneous trophy for beating the Rat King with Splinter. Once all 7 were maxed out, I got some multiplayer trophies solo, like cheering up Raphael with Casey, doing 3 cheer-ups in a single level, and reviving a teammate. Then I beat arcade mode on easy without using a continue for another. And after about 6 hours of grinding, I finally beat Super Shredder without getting hit once, which took me forever and was really annoying as I kept getting robbed by things that weren't there, nor did I take damage from the failed grab. This was just fucking bullshit. Now only 4 trophies remain, and to get them I needed help from a buddy. So, I got my younger brother, and we sat down and ground out for about 3.5 hours the final trophies. 2 popped early on, one for simply clearing a level in multiplayer, and another for performing 10 team attacks. Thanks to a healthy amount of cheese and fighting bullshit with bullshit, we finally and barely managed to beat arcade mode on hard, netting the final 2 trophies and the platinum. This game alternated between being fun and balanced to unfair and cheap. This game would have guzzled so many of my quarters as a kid. The mobs got tougher as the game went on, but the bosses get easier and simpler. It almost feels like we should be playing the game backwards. And the balance is all over the place in a bad way. The game was fun, challenging, annoying, easy, hard, and all over. And because of the cheese and other aspects, I think the platinum is not a 7 out of 10. I think the platinum is a 5 out of 10, as you can cheese a large portion of the higher difficulty trophies. As for the patented Dan the Ranking Man rating, the game is a 75 out of 100. It is better than average as the game looks great, plays well, has some good bops in both music and fights, but the overall balance really hurts the experience. The important thing is that with this game platinum, that means this month is a technical mission complete. Yes, that's 3 games platinum. Fuck you, I platinumed Chris Tales and was robbed of the fucking trophy. Ah! Stay tuned to see what's in store for next month. Like, subscribe, and hype for more like this. And remember, Donatello is either the absolute best or the worst loser in all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. There is absolutely no middle ground.